Hello everyone, and welcome to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR, and today we're going to have a 1v1 on Semoskiy Winter, as you already know. Our heroes today are going to be NLSponge, playing for the Soviets, and his opponent today is going to be Kenker, playing for the Germans. So, once again, Sunday Night Fights, Season 5 Tournament, round of 128, and our players... Highest ranked player would be Sponge. His Soviet play is in the 100s, so, you know, pretty decent player, pretty good. And Kenker, while no scrub himself, is nowhere near that. His German play is in the 600 range. Again, you know, decent enough, but not quite. Seeding, however, is pretty close. It's 63 for Kenker and 66 for Sponge, so yeah, we should probably expect a good match out of this. So, back into the game. No commander selected, so we will probably see some adapting strategies and not a close-minded, you know, start. Kenker going for the usual, getting tier 1 and getting Grenadiers. 2 Grenadiers, second Grenadier hitting the field right now. Sponge, same as all Soviets, getting conscripts, second conscript already on the field running down that road. And we can probably expect a third conscript and then Molotovs from his tier 1. Almost assured, but well, we'll see if that actually is the case. So no engagement so far. We see some conscripts over here on the left-hand side. Might run into those Pios, but the Pios look like they're actually wanting to run to the left-hand side furthest away, so they're not going to run into each other. Down south we have combat engineers in this house, and there we go. Shots fired, taking some shots at the Grenadiers that are running down that road. A couple shots go down, but the Grenadiers decide to just keep on moving. One shot actually nails one of them and does a little bit of damage, but not much more happens after that. Combat engineers for Sponge will probably just stay in that house for a while until the area is clear. And the area is clear now since the Grenadiers decided to just simply move to the right-hand side. Up in the northern field port, we're going to see the first real engagement, and that is conscripts against Grenadiers. Conscripts move up to start decapping the point and get themselves in heavy cover on that hay bale. The Grenadiers also move into the light cover, apparently, from that hay bale. There we go, heavy cover now. And stop the decap, so the fight will go on for a little while, and the winners will be the Grenadiers. Down goes one of the conscripts, and they push on forward, throw a Molotov, because we have 3 conscripts, and the Molotov gets researched. Nice Molotov, lands on the path of the Grents, and the Pios actually walk a little bit into it, but don't really take that much damage. So the conscripts decide to Ura away. They will have to Ura through the heavy snow, taking a lot of damage, down to 3 men, but they will probably jump into that house to stay on the field a little while longer and deny the territory a little bit more for Kenker. Another conscript squad coming up to the north to support that 3-man conscript squad that is currently garrisoned in that house. And those Pios are not stuck between the conscripts in the house and the conscripts outside in the heavy snow, so they're going to have to retreat very soon, otherwise they're going to get themselves killed. Conscripts over on the north running into those Grenadiers. Grenadiers moving along, not actually staying or stopping the fight, so they will get shot by those conscripts a little bit more than they would have wanted to. Conscripts move up to the heavy cover, and we'll probably be throwing a Molotov right on top of those Grents. Grents will jump into the house, so that is a prime target for a Molotov. Conscripts in the house still there, gonna get engaged by another Grenadier squad. 4 Grenadier squads on the field now for Kenker, while 4 conscripts are on the field for Sponge. Up north, Molotov did go down into the house, forcing the retreat of those Grenadiers, so nice victory there for Sponge. Grants in the conscripts in the house still holding up against those Grants. Still 3 men, and they're able to all 3 fire from that side of the house since it has 4 windows. And the conscripts are over here on the left-hand side, have lost 1 man, moving up, probably going to move up to throw a nade on this Grant squad. Down south, the combat engineers decided not to evacuate the house. They are getting engaged by 2 Grenadier squads, but since they are in that house, they will be able to stay there for quite a while and deny the territory a little while. Molotov did land. It landed over on the hay bale up top, and conscripts continue to push. We now have 2 conscript squads outside. The 3-man one decided to exit the house and retreat to get reinforced. And the combat engineers still hold up in that house, taking some shots at the Grenadiers. Grenadiers trying to capture that fuel. They will take some damage to these combat engineers, but the combat engineers will eventually lose. There is a conscript squad coming up for Sponge behind them, so it will be able to support. But with an LMG equipped on these Grents, both the conscripts and the engineers in that house are in a little bit of trouble. Up north, conscripts did win the fight, so they are capturing the fuel, and the other one is moving up to the further north to capture more territories. Tier 2 going down for Kenker, and he is producing himself a scout car. Interesting choices, but not bad at all. I mean, it's fine. Molotov landing on that Gren, 2-man Gren forced off the field. The one with the LMG is still on the field doing a lot of damage to the conscripts. One of those Grens falls down. Conscripts Ura to get themselves into the house to get a little bit more cover, and the Grenadier squad decides to evacuate and go back home. So, I mean, I mentioned the scout car being interesting because we've seen more half-track play recently. At least I've personally seen it a lot more recently. Especially with getting, 4 Grenadier squads. You would want to keep those on the field as much as you can and support them. But, scout car is fine. Scout car, does a lot of damage with its machine gun. Can be used to push units, get to different places, quite fast. And you can get a half-track afterwards, relatively quickly. So, I mean, like I said, it's not bad. It's just interesting. I've, a little bit more accustomed to see the half-track coming out first nowadays. Usually, you would see the scout car coming out first if the Soviet player opened up with its own scout car. I heard a rifle. Oh, there we go. Rifle nade going down on the conscripts over here on the hay bale, forcing the retreat. And the scout car is coming up to chase, but it will not be able to chase it back home. The other conscript squad down to 3 men ends up retreating as well, so the left-hand side of the map is now open for Kenker. Sponge has retreated. His combat engineers will probably reinforce him and have them build something. Let's see if he goes for tier 2. Yeah, he does go for tier 2. So either he's going to get himself an AT gun to try to maybe pick off that scout car, or he's just using it as a stepping stone. He does not have the fuel right now to get another building, so probably going the AT gun route, one would assume. So, left-hand side of the map, getting captured by Kenker. Nothing really much going on. His Grenadiers all over the place. Pios on the far left. 2 Grenadier squads, the one with the LMG, moving down again to the right-hand side. They're trying to stop the conscripts from capping. Conscripts over here jump into this house, well, have been in this house for a while, so they have decent sight range, and they will start shooting at those Grens as they approach. Grens were going straight for the fuel point, so nice anticipation there from Sponge that the Grenadiers were going to move in that direction. Right-hand side, however, conscripts are going to run, or well, going to get caught by those LMG Grens, and they're going to take a lot of damage. Molotov will go down. Conscripts push forward, and the Molotov lands on top of the conscripts. So, oh, another conscript is getting burned alive, and they retreat. They will get mauled as they retreat. Down to 4 men right now. We'll make it out alive. These 2 guys are further away. Down to 3 on the retreat. Maybe even down to 2. Nope, make it out alive at 3, so they're fine. Center map, conscript pushing out, pushing up against the scout car. He does have 18 nades already, so all tier 0 upgrades have been gotten for Sponge, so he got himself his medics, Molotovs, and the 18 aid. 18 aid, pretty useful now, especially with the scout car, could catch it in a bad spot and finish it off. However, Maxim Machine Gun was the thing that was gotten from tier 2 for Sponge, so interesting choice. Maxim Machine Gun, not the best against scout cars. It'll do some damage, but, doesn't have, say, like, Americans in B code that it had the ability to use armor-piercing rounds and take out half-seconds, things like that. But, yeah, I mean, it could still be rather useful, especially against all those 4 Grand squads. AT Gun is the second unit out from tier 2 for Sponge, so he is getting that route. And the Maxim Machine Gun is hitting the field right now. We'll probably set up to start shooting at the scout car. One would assume. And no, it's actually going to hold itself up in the church. Okay. Down south, we see Panzer Grenadiers running into combat engineers with flamethrowers. Combat engineers running immediately, and very nice mine there by Sponge. Kenker runs his Panzer Grenadier straight into it, and down to 1 man on that Panzer Grenadier squad. Panzer Grenadier ends up retreating. Very healthy 1-man squad, so it will make it out alive, even if they are conscripts that are shooting at them. Grens with LMGs over on the right-hand side, trying to fight off against those conscripts, but they are holed up in that house, making it very difficult. Maxim Machine Gun in that church. Where is it? It is set up to shoot at the scout car. The scout car taking some damage. Pioneers being the focus of the damage, and they go down immediately. Very nice pickup there for Sponge. I think he might have focus fired the Pioneers, which was quite smart of him. Remember that units that are building something or repairing take extra damage. Conscripts over here in this house do end up actually, winning the engagements, and the LMG Gren do end up having to retreat. Grens over on the right-hand side just simply move along to capture. while Sponge is essentially playing delay tactics. Another Pioneer spot being produced by Kenker to replace. AT gun in the road, taking some shots at the Grants in that house. A barrage would actually be brilliant into that house, but he doesn't have the munitions for it. He's about to get it. Is he gonna pop it? He does have the 60 munitions. Does Sponge go for the artillery barrage? It is very costly, but it could actually pan out. We'll see. Maxim machine gun and conscript in that house, continue to shoot at the Grants. And the other conscript squad is back here in that house, I guess also supporting the AT gun. Down south, conscripts do capture point. Up north, we have conscripts capturing the victory point. Scout car moving in to engage them and, well, doing a lot of damage. Conscripts do put themselves in heavy cover, so they will be able to stay there and, they URA forward and get in range of the 18A. They do throw the 18A, getting that damage down, and the conscripts back off to keep on capping the map. Very aggressive there by Sponge, very risky. Doing a little bit of a gamble. Could pop out one of his conscript squad. It is what he's doing. Is he going to try to run to the north and try to catch that scout car? We shall see. The Grants in that house did end up retreating, but I think one of them might have been lost. Not entirely sure. I don't think it was, but... No, I mean, he did have 4 Grenadier squads only, right? Yeah, so he's fine. Okay, nothing. Grants on the right-hand side, and AT gun just continues to move territory. The conscripts that jump out of the house decided to just simply jump out the cap. Still another conscript squad in that church, mingling with the MG. Let's see if we can find all the units inside. We have some units in the attic. We have some units in the ground floor. Well, not attic, I suppose. It's... Well, actually, yeah, this is the attic. That's the attic, that's the second floor, and that's the ground floor. Okay. Anyway, so we hear an engagement, and that is over here on the right-hand side. Bundle nade going down in the house. Very nice dodge there by Sponge. Jumps out, jumps back in. Rifle nade will probably go down, one would assume, but the conscripts are still there, going to hold their ground and be very, very annoying. Conscripts over here. Now getting PPS Sages, we see that Sponge got himself his doctrine, and that is the Soviet Shock Army doctrine. Getting PPS Sages and hit the dirt on his conscripts, which he has 4 of, which is just great. And he also got himself tier 3 already, and went for T70. Popular choice, considering with tier 2, well, he has the AT gun, so he's still capable of dealing with any armored threats from Kenker. However, Kenker, interestingly enough, that's why we haven't seen much from him, went for tier 4. He skipped tier 3 altogether, went tier 1, tier 2, tier 4, so he's probably going to get himself a Panther. So it'll be a while. Hell, maybe even a Rumor. Rumor will actually be pretty good. We'll see what happens, but very interesting choice, very unorthodox, and, well, a little bit of fresh air, because unfortunately we've seen a lot of tier 3 right now in all these casts of this round of 128, so very nice to see that. T70 going to town on these Grenadiers. Grenadiers pushing forward, trying to get in range to throw a Faust. They might actually get in range of the Faust. They do. Taking a beating, down to 2 men, but they do end up retreating, and with no vehicle follow-up, well, they're going to be fine. Mortar half-track does hit the field. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Kenker did select his doctrine, but I made a little bit of a mistake on the overlay, so it'll take a while to show the other 2, which don't really come into play right now, so it's fine. But Kenker selected the Spearhead doctrine, so he got himself the mortar half-track, and there we go. I kicked in a little bit late, but he now has that. He got the mortar half-track and incendiary barrage the church area. Did a little bit of damage to the squads inside, but not a lot. They're still there, and they didn't evacuate. PPS Aegis equipped on these conscripts might be enough to take down this half-track if they can lay a 18-8 on top of it, but they decide to stay in the area and just simply capture the fuel instead of chasing the scout car. Center map, conscripts do retreat in the face of LMG Grants and the mortar. And down by the fuel point, finally we see Kenker retaking that fuel, pushing away the conscripts, but we now have a combat engineer with flamethrower and PPSH equipped conscripts going up against this 3-man Panzer Grenadier squad. Bundle nade landing very nicely right in between both squads, but the conscripts actually dodge it quite nicely. Combat engineers do end up taking a beating, down to 1 man on the retreat, and the Sippo, the flamethrower, it ends up igniting on them. T70 running over to the left-hand side, might be hunting for the scout car. The scout car did go back to its base, so it's now hunting for the Pios that decided to cap the victory point. The Pios are now stuck in the snow. The T-70 needs to back off and retreat. Unfortunately, it is turning itself around. The T-70 will not be able to pick up that kill. Was an easy kill for it if it had chased, but well, small missed opportunity there for Sponge. Mortar on the field for Sponge, and that would be the 120mm mortar, even though he has tier 2. He could get the other mortar. I mean, why get that one if he has a Hot Doctrine with his big-ass mortar? The mortar landing some shots on the units. Half-track might also be in danger if he gets barraged. And the T-70 is going into the center of the field, might be hunting for that half-track. It is damaged a little bit, but it has its engine fully repaired. Half-track taking some shots at the church, doing some good damage. Almost collapsing it. But the half-track is going to fall to this T-70. T-70 continues to pursue, popping smoke, but the T-70 just keeps on going. Runs right over the carcass and takes another shot at the scout car, doing some good damage. But a pack gun is already on the field for Kenker, so it forces him to retreat. Veterancy 1 acquired for the T-70, so it can move around on the edges, capturing territory. But right now it needs some repairs because it's down to about 25% health. Center map, AT gun set up for Sponge. The Maxim machine gun did take a beating, but it's still in the church, still holding strong. Decides to jump out, and it tosses one of its own guys right on top of the T-70, bounces around, and then lies next to the AT gun. That was quite interesting. Maxim machine gun, I mean not Maxim, the PPS Aegis on these conscripts, doing some work on the grenadiers, actually killing one of them, but with 2 LMG grenadiers on top of them, the conscripts decide to retreat quite, intelligently and not risk their own life. 3 conscript squads already have PPS Aegis, only one of them missing one. There we go, actually pops on the last one, so all conscripts have PPS Aegis. Shock troops are also a possibility. And I think I said hit the dirt and PPS Aegis before. No, I was wrong, sorry. The Soviet Shock Army gives you the PPS Aegis, shock troops, and the 120mm mortar. So, Grenadiers taking a nade or Molotov to the face, ended up retreating, and the fuel remains in possession for Sponge. Sponge got himself a T-34 right now in the center of the map. So, sorry, a little bit of oxygen needed. So right now Kenker is in a little bit of a spot. He is not capable of building his tank right now, but a Panther would be the solution. Anyways, right hand side, conscripts engaging Panzer Grenadiers. Panzer Grenadiers down to 1 man. The conscripts actually execute the Panzer Grenadier squad. Very nice pickup there for Sponge. Ends up retreating. Will have to retreat through 2 Grenadier squads, but with veterancy 2 and 4 men left in that squad, conscripts will make it out just fine. Very nice pickup there. Up north, the scout car getting repaired by the Pioneers. They are right outside of that fuel point, so not capturing it just yet. Conscripts holding position around here. And now we see the Panthers start getting produced for Kenker. So this could be what he needs to throw the momentum of this fight in his favor. Pack gun set up over here on the left-hand side, supporting his his scout car. Scout car now getting veterancy 2. Personally, at this point, I would probably, he doesn't have a lot of munitions, so I guess he's reluctant to do so, and rightfully so. But it wouldn't be a bad idea to get the autocannon. I say because autocannon can actually do a lot of damage to a T-70, and with veterancy 2 and veterancy 2 you get what is the bonus? Reduces the damage taken significantly, so it's gonna take a lot of shots from your T-70 to take it out, and you could add the damage on top of, say, a Faust or something like that. That's why I'm saying that it would be a possibility. But oh, very nice skidding there by that T-70. Moves up and continues to shoot at these Grenadiers. Grenadiers do have veterancy 2, giving them that armor bonus, but the T-70 cares not for it. Shoot. Panther now hitting the field for Kenker. Let's see if he uses this to basically swing the momentum of the game in his favor. Conscripts Ura forward. Autocannon did get a research for Kenker, so very nice. A little bit of same thoughts going down, so I like that. But the conscripts just Ura on top. There we go, finally gets the 18-8 off. Not entirely sure what was going on there. They Ura to the scout car and then just stood in front of it for a while. Grens over here on the right-hand side for Kenker did get taken out, however. Conscripts now capturing territory again. So Kenker, while he has that Panther, he is in a very tough spot. Only has 3 Grenadier squads left with a pack gun up north. Scout car still over there. Pio's moving around capping, but they are not nearby to help. And the T-34 is moving in. No, it's reluctant. It knows there's a pack up there, so it's not gonna get itself killed. And a nice nade there by the shock troops. Ling, and the Panther makes itself known, heading straight into the center of the map. Nope, heading over to the right-hand side of the map to support its Grenadier friends. Grenadiers moving up to the right-hand side, gonna run into these conscripts. The conscripts are veteran C1, and there are veteran C2 Grenadiers there, so they're gonna lose this fight very easily. LMG is also gonna do quick work on the conscripts. Conscripts move up to the Vet 1 squad, taking some shots by the Panther, down to 3 men now. Getting mauled, down to 2, retreating in the face of the LMG, and the Panther, down goes the conscript squad, so nice victory there for Kenker. Sponge, not responding with anything just yet, hasn't produced anything. He still has his AT gun on the field, so I suppose that makes him a little bit comfortable against the Panther, and has a T-34 that can ram it, so I guess he's fine. Left-hand side, Maxim machine gun, and the combat engineers pushing against the scout car and the Pios. But we now have the T-70 barreling down on top of the scout car. The scout car will go down. T-70 will take some damage to that autocannon, as you can see. Look at that damage go down. But the scout car is obviously less armored than the T-70, and will lose the fight. But yeah, look at that damage. I mean, that's pretty good damage. That's why I was saying the autocannon was a viable choice at that point. And Kenker thought the same. But unfortunately, he got caught out of position. Panther heading straight into the center of the map, right in front of the AT gun. The AT gun takes a shot to the side armor of the Panther, doing some damage, but the T-34 needs to get in front of the ramp. Go for the ramp. Come on, go for the ramp. Oh, no. Sponge decides to be a little bit more passive, just taking shots, doing some good damage. That's not bad. But if he had actually gone for the ram right now, I think he could have actually taken out the Panther. Let's see if, like the other game I casted a while ago, probably last week, it doesn't come back to bite Sponge in the butt. In the buttocks. T-34 did take some shots and is down to about 75% health. The Panther, however, did take a beating and is at about 40% health. Needs some repairs. And Kenker does not. No, he does have a Pioneer squad. I thought he didn't, but no. It looks like it might have retreated, or maybe he built another one. Is this... I don't know, actually. Well, anyways, Maxim machine gun over here on the left-hand side, now being used for capping. It's past its stay in the church. It's no longer invited there, I guess. And we see the conscripts hoorahing to throw an 18-8 on that Panther. Actually get the crit on the engine, and the Panther is down to about 30% health, maybe. T-34s on the field. We have 2 T-34s for Sponge on the field. If he actually goes aggressive with them right now, he could potentially go get a kill on that Panther that's currently getting repaired. It's at about half health, but I don't think he's actually going to do it. T-70 now fully repaired, Veteran C2 acquired. At Veteran C2 it increases the weapon damage and reduces the damage taken, so that T-70 is going to be quite difficult to take down. Of course, the Panther is quite capable of doing it, quite capable of keeping up with him and with its speed, unless it's obviously to get the damage engine. But I doubt that Sponge will send the T-70 any place where the Panther is going to be, obviously. PPSH equipped conscripts, which I said already, all of them already have it, so I'm not really point in mentioning it. Ooh, bundling going down. Oh, 1 man left, 2 man left on the Panzer Grenadier squad. Does hit retreat. 2 men left on that Panzer Grenadier squad. Don't actually shoot. Mortar shots around, landing a little bit too close for comfort, but that conscript squad barely makes it out alive. T-70 in cap mode, going up to, well, actually no, not cap mode. The combat mode. It allows it to, I mean recon mode. Sorry, it allows it to get increased line of sight, so he's using that and probably gonna use secure mode, I would assume. You can use secure mode to cap, but it doesn't look like he wants to do that. Oh well. Shock troops for Sponge just pushing up, so Sponge pretty much in a dominant lead right now. Look at all the infantry he has. I mean, he has 5 combat infantry on the field plus a machine gun and a mortar, while Kenker only has 3 combat infantry. Those are grenadiers. He does have the Panther, which I guess you could say outclasses the tanks for Sponge, but with the addition of his AT gun and 2 T-34s, that Panther is not capable of doing much in a forward assault. Would have to catch some of Sponge's units, or well, vehicles that is, out of position and kill them off that way. No additional tech going down for Sponge. Content to hold the center of the map. Grenadiers, all three of them pushing in force into the center of the map, trying to regain a little bit of territory. Right now we see conscripts getting veteran C3, capturing territory as well. And the Panzer Grenadiers ended up dying at some point. I am going to assume that happened to the Mortar. Mortar does have 7 kills to its name. Not a lot, but considering it was firing over here, the Panzer Grenadiers did win the fight and stayed there, so a shot might have actually landed and killed them. Conscripts on the right-hand side engaging against 2 Vet2 Grenadier squads. Those conscripts will lose the fight. They will throw a Molotov on the Gren squads, but not going to do a lot. Maybe catching one of those Grens in the fire. Although this Gren squad decides to run into the flames. They were a little bit cold, and they will get incinerated. But they move out of the way, down to 2 men, and there they go. Panther running to the right-hand side for support, making sure that Kenker can at least capture the point. Victory point-wise, it's pretty even in the favor of Sponge. Sponge at 312 points, while Kenker is now down to 245. But you know, pretty even. It's pretty good game. So yeah, I mean, a little bit of a nice breath of fresh air. Up in the north, we see that the pack gun did get taken out for Kenker at some point. These conscripts apparently overwhelmed them. They took the pack gun for themselves and are currently capturing the point. Panzer Grenadiers running on top of them, though, are doing a lot of damage. But with Veteran C3, they are going to be quite safe. They will be able to run away and stay alive. Further north, conscripts, vanilla conscripts, did get PPSHs, so they're going to be a little bit better than standard vanilla conscripts. But they don't have veterancy, so they will die very quickly. Panther around the center of the map, right outside Kenker's base. He did build a lot more units, getting himself 2 Panzer Grenadier squads to bolster his infantry count. But again, he's still vastly outnumbered. That is 4 conscript squads, a shock troop, maximum machine gun, and a mortar, plus 2 AT guns. Now, one being a pack and one being a Soviet AT gun. 2 T-34s and a T-70. Panther moving to the right-hand side, going to get 1880 by these conscripts. This is not what Kenker wanted to do. Luckily for him, though, the Panther does deflect the AT gun and only takes a little bit of damage. Second conscript squad moving up, going to throw another 18-8 on the Panther. There we go. Actually gets a crit on the engine. So T-34s could try to pursue it right now and get a kill on the Panther, but we shall see if that actually happens. Conscripts at Veteran C3 being able to stand against Vet 0 Panzer Grenadiers. Panzer Grenadiers retreating, taking some damage to the BP stages, but they are fine. AT gun, what is that, the pack gun? What did damage? Oh, here it is. Wow, I couldn't see it for some reason. Yeah, pack gun, stolen pack gun did take some shots at the Panther, doing some good damage. T-34s are now on the move, and yeah, I think this is Sponge's chance to go for the kill on that Panther. Panther is cut off. We have conscript squad moving up north that will run into that Panther, potentially throwing another 18-8 on top of it, just adding damage on top of that. And the T-34s, like I said, are very capable of, well, dealing with it. Surprisingly enough, because you would expect the Panther to be able to handle these guys quite easy, but no. More 18-8s go down. Pioneers get obliterated by the conscripts, and the Panther is now just sitting duck. T-70 moving out behind it, moving around, taking some shots. Panther taking some shots to the frontal armor, down to about 25% health. Could potentially take down one of these T-34s, but nope. Combined fire from both. Take it out before it can toss another shot. And Kenker is now in a very, very bad spot. He doesn't have any way to deal with these T-34s that could potentially just drive up to his base. And he knows it, so he decides to throw in the towel. So very nice. Very good game by both players. Kenker doing very remarkably there, and Sponge, well, just dominating with all his units, managing to keep them alive for the most part, and, well, controlling them the rest of the map. But yeah, very nice. Like I said, a breath of fresh air here. It was a very nice game from this round, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have any positive or negative remarks, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you have any replays you want to send me, go ahead and send them to the email that I will put in the description below. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Once again, thanks you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.